Hi, I'm Kevin Eikenberry, and I'm here to help you reach your potential as a leader and a human being. Welcome to Remarkable TV and the Remarkable Leadership Podcast. If you happen to be watching on YouTube, we're glad you're here. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any future episodes. Today, I'm asking you a question. Do you have FOBO? Are you ready? Let's get started. FOBO? I mean, you've heard of FOMO, the fear of missing out. I've even recorded an RTV in the past about FOMO, but FOBO? I'm not talking about FUBU. I'm not talking about a TV streaming service. I'm talking about FOBO. FOBO is fear of being obsolete. Now, have you ever had this fear? Or maybe now you have this fear because I brought it up. It might have something to do with your age. You may say, well, I have FOBO because I'm older and so I'm feeling maybe obsolete, but I don't think it's just about age. And so even if you're younger and are listening, you might have FOBO occasionally. So I want to talk about it. It makes sense that we could have it regardless of our age because of the speed of change. Things are just changing very rapidly. And so because of that, we may say, well, is what I already know going to become obsolete? All of the research says, and most of us that have any age realize that there's a lot of stuff that we used to do that we don't do anymore. And so we've had to adapt and grow, but the speed of change seems to keep on growing. And this whole FOBO thing, I think, often revolves now around generative AI. Like if I can just use ChatGPT or Bard or something like that, like if someone can just use that, will that replace me? Is that giving you FOBO? Or maybe it's just the fact that for many years you worked in a certain way, or you've come into the workplace and worked remotely and now you're being asked to go into the office. We might have, because of what the future of work might hold for us, we might have some FOBO, right? So my point is that if you have this feeling of being obsolete, at least occasionally, it's understandable. But it doesn't have to stay that way. It can change. So what I have for you are 2 questions and 3 actions to help you deal with any FOBO that might occur to you. First of all, the questions. First question is, what is the obsolescence I'm worried about? I mean, you're not worried about being obsolete at everything. There's something that's concerning you, that's bothering you, that's worrying you. What is that thing? And then the second question is, what is your biggest worry about that? So if I'm obsolete in that area, what's the downside? What's the outcome? Where does that leave me? I want you to understand those 2 questions, and then you'll have a target to overcome FOBO about. What are you wanting to be unobsolescent about? That's a bad phrase, but you know what I mean. How do I want to make sure I'm adapting and growing in those areas? You have a target and you have a why. Here's the thing I'm worried about. Here's why I'm worried about it. Now, 3 things to do. First, talk to someone who already has that skill set. Maybe it's someone who could become a mentor to you. Maybe it's someone that you can simply observe and learn some things that will help you. Or maybe, just maybe, you want to ask that person if they can give you a list of things that you could learn, places that you could grow, suggestions of resources to help you in your learning so that you can avoid being obsolete. All right. Then identify 3 learning options. So maybe one of them is having someone as a mentor. Maybe it's some of the options that they've suggested to you. Identify at least 3 learning options. And then lastly, get started. Now notice I didn't say pick one and get started. I said get started because depending on what they are, you might be able to do all 3 at the same time or in the same time period. It doesn't necessarily have to be linear. In fact, if you're concerned about being obsolete, maybe you need to think more nodally rather than linearly. So, FOBO. Maybe it's a new phrase, but it's probably not a new feeling. Let me summarize today with our remarkable reminder. If you have FOBO, the fear of being obsolete, become a more intentional learner starting immediately. Now, if you found this useful, and in fact, if you have some FOBO and are looking for some resources to help you in your own growth and development, you might consider our free newsletter, Unleashing Your Remarkable Potential. It comes out once a week. It does exactly what the title says, helps you unleash your remarkable potential It's free. You can sign up by going to kevineikenberry.com/newsletters. And when you do that, you'll have the chance to sign up, and then I'll see you there every week, just like I hope to see you back here next week for another episode of Remarkable TV and the Remarkable Leadership Podcast.